Well, the country is in terrible shape, John. I mean, everybody wants to protect the nation, not only Mr. Morsi, but to protect the nation, we need to get the nation together. We need to restore law and order, and we need to jumpstart the economy, and we need to make sure that people feel that they are part of a cohesive society, and all this is not there right now. But I should say this, the solution is not a military one, is not a security one, it's a political one.
Well, the Army Chief of Staff was suggesting that we're on the verge of a collapse of the state. That would almost hint at the fact that the military is poised to come back in 2 years after the fall of Mr. Mubarak. If
they will come in just to save the country from falling into a civil war, but then we are, in the words of Yogi Berra, we will start all over again, which nobody wants that. I think that the key right now, John, is to start a process of national reconciliation, a national partnership. That's the only way to move forward. Get the political Islam with the rest of the country, forge together a path to move forward based on a competent government, a government where everybody feels they have their trust, impartial government to run the election, a committee to amend the constitution, and like in South Africa, a commission for national reconciliation. We need to look forward and not backward.
You're suggesting we're not on the verge of a civil war then? It's not gotten to that stage, because the phrases we're hearing over the last week would suggest, and after the violence we saw last Friday, that it's much worse than some are indicating.
We're far away from a civil war, but there's a lot of violence, a lot of anger. And the anger, to address the anger, you need to address the root causes. And the root causes are people expectation to have food on the table, health care, education. It really our social agenda pretty much. And for many other also the feeling that this uprising was about freedom, dignity, freedom of expression, freedom of belief. So you need also to amend the constitution to make sure that we have a democratic constitution. Right now, the constitution that were adopted is far away from being called a democratic constitution.
While this is taking place, the economy is crumbling. Unemployment's in the double digits. We have a budget deficit in the double digits, so they can't afford the subsidies anymore. Would you suggest that emergency measures are needed before an IMF package is actually strung together? Because that's been going on for 9 months.
We need the IMF, and then, as I understand, with the IMF, there will be like a package of 12 billion that will come. It's coming from Europe, from the US, from the Gulf. So, but everybody is waiting for the IMF, and the IMF obviously will not provide the money unless they make sure that the economy is on the right direction. In short, we need fresh money because we cannot continue to borrow from the inside. I mean, our national debt is 100% of the GDP. We need an environment where foreign investors feel they're comfortable, laws and regulations, and we need a trained labor. These are the three basic pillars by which we can jumpstart the economy.
In the past, you've been very critical of this new government. Can you sit across the table and work with President Morsi and build a coalition to move forward? It doesn't sound like it to be very, very
you
can.
I mean, these are not personal. I mean, I have and I continue to have a lot of disagreement with them. Where they are hailing from is quite different from where I'm hailing from. If they agree to have a proper electoral law, that will ensure free and fair election. We have a lot of gerrymandering under the current law. We will be ready to go and compete for the election. I mean, we decided to boycott the election because we will not be a part of the core, but we are ready to move forward for the election if it is free and fair. It doesn't matter who is going to win. I mean, this is free competition, but we need to make sure that there is a level playing field.